Grand Rising, TikTok. How is everyone? It's Chris, aka the Business Trapper. You guys don't mind my hair or me. I just dropped my kid off at school. And I wanted to pop on here. So this morning I was doing a little bit of research, as I often do. I look up everything about credit, data breaches, settlements, like CFPB. I'm constantly doing research so I can bring you guys the most up-to-date information, right? And so that way we can stay on top of these credit reports, because at the end of the day, that's what is the most important. So I don't know, but I haven't heard anybody really talking about this. Kia, right? Kia has a class action lawsuit for $145 million that just settled. And it says that the settlement for if you were affected is about $4,000. It was like, well, $3,000. It was like $3,375 or something like that. So Honda Motor Company and Kia Corp agreed to a settlement of $145 million to resolve a class action lawsuit that Hyundai inappropriately manufactured Kia vehicles with design flaws that left them vulnerable to theft and damage. Now, I know that a lot of people were getting their Kia stolen, especially here in Detroit. So I know that was like a huge deal. This is in all 50 states, right? So if you own a Kia, definitely look into that, right? But there was more, you guys. This morning when I was looking at this, I was like shocked. There is another settlement in New York for, it was ambulances. Actually, let me look this up right now. There was something to do with a data breach in ambulances. NY settlements, data breach, ambulance. I'll tell you guys about that one. So to my New Yorkers, it was Empress Ambulance Service had 1.5, they agreed to $1.5 million, claims that it failed to prevent a 2022 data breach. So for all my New Yorkers, make sure you guys look into that. And that was not it, you guys. Hold on, because I got more. So the Kia settlement is $3,375. This was just released like 2 days ago. You guys, that's $145 million. So if your car was stolen, if you were affected, definitely. The attorneys on that case, actually, I'll tell you guys who to, let me see if it says who to contact. So there's 9 million people that qualify for that that little over $3,000. It's 9 million people. And so what they do when there's class action lawsuits, they'll send the letter out to like your last known address. And sometimes these take so long that we're never notified that we're eligible. So kind of staying up on it, right? Because that money just goes back to them. Actually, I don't know what happens to the money if we don't claim it, but I know it doesn't go in our pocket if we don't claim it. So that's the most important part. Let me see if you have the attorney for you guys to, I don't see the attorney, but if you owned a Kia, it was, you're eligible. 9 million people, somebody on here. Yeah, so anyone that had a Hyundai or a Kia stolen, yep, or an attempted theft. I don't know the whole details to all of this. So it says 9 million Americans could claim a payout of up to $3,375. Owners of 2 popular car brands are eligible to qualify, depending on when they purchased or leased, that's a purchase or a lease, their vehicles. Getty, owners of 2 popular car brands, hold on. Yeah, it just says Kia or Hyundai. That's all I'm seeing. I was seeing if they were going to list like the actual names of the cars. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. For my New Yorkers, for the ambulance service data breach, let me see if they have on here. So for the Empress EMS in New York, anyone who dealt with Empress in July of 2022, you should have received a notice that your information. What's only 2011 to 2021? The Empress one? I just look it up. Just look up 145 million settlement for Hyundai and Kia, and it'll pop right up. Oh, look, we have somebody on here where it's in their letter. So that's 10 years. So if you leased or owned that vehicle from 2011 to 2021 from Kia or Hyundai, you guys check that out, right? Look into that. There's so much money on the floor for the New York, for the settlement with the EMS. That is up to $10,000. 10 bands. So if you were in an ambulance in New York in 2022, go ahead and just Google it. It says the deadline for exclusion and objection is March 8th. The final approval hearing in the settlement is April 3rd. So start looking for that now if you live in New York and you were in that ambulance, right? It's Empress. There is more, you guys. There was another T-Mobile data breach. Like when I was looking stuff up this morning, actually, I didn't even look this up. It actually popped up on my feed and I was like, whoa, what is going on? Let me see if we can find some more. Yeah, I bought one in 2017. Damn. So you got kicked off of your insurance for having a car that was made defective because it was prone to stealing? Damn. That's crazy. Like the stuff that and I'm not going to dive 3 times. I'm not going to dive like super deep into it because I don't want to get put off of TikTok again, but the stuff that's allowed to happen when the shoe's on the other foot is crazy to me. Especially you guys, I'm serious. I cannot get over. I am so outdone that one of my clients was marked as unalived by Discover, and that with no certificate, no confirmation, no type of proof to this whatsoever, they were able to report him unalive all the way back to LexisNexis. So this gentleman, he cannot get a mortgage, he cannot get a car, he cannot get a line of credit. He literally can do nothing with an 815 credit score because of a human error or whatever, but with willful and knowing negligence, they reported him unalived without any type of proof. And this happens to over 12,000 Americans every year. There are attorneys waiting to pick this up like pro bono because that is willful, right? That is willful negligence. Like you had no proof that this person was unalived. And that's why when I make videos about how to handle debt collectors or I'm not saying like get out of paying your debt. I'm not saying any of that. But life gets to life and stuff happens, right? But we want to make sure that we are validating, right? We just don't want to start paying stuff out because somebody called. So one of the business trappers in the 6-figure class, she had got done. She was paying on a debt that she had from like a few years prior, right? And she sent in $1,500 and they just didn't have her check. They didn't have her money order. So this money order had been cashed. It was sent into the company. She ran a trace on it. This money order was cashed by the company, but they said they didn't have this $1,500. So she went into court last week to go in front of the judge about it. And the company that was collecting this debt, so she had moved, right? She moved to California. The company that was collecting this debt, the judge actually closed this debt and dismissed it years prior without the trapper knowing. And this company did not even have a license to collect in California where she lives at. And they went after her. She paid they were like harassing her. And so she paid the money, but the $1,500 is just gone, disappeared on a debt that a judge had closed and thrown out from a company that did not even have a license to collect in the state of California. So this is why I tell you guys, we're not debating, right? Like you already feel bad enough when you go into debt and you can't pay your bills because chances are something drastic has already happened that's thrown you off your square, right? So you already feel bad enough and you're already like dealing with that and going through it and you're trying to come out on the other side of it. But to have companies and corporations that pick these debts up and come after us with illegal unlawful, because there's a difference between illegal and unlawful, right? Breaking all the rules, codes, laws, and just to make a couple dollars because they bought a debt, that's crazy. That's crazy. If when the company writes that debt off and they are compensated, and another company comes and purchases that debt, you bought it, sir. You own it. Now, there is a difference between an attorney working for an original creditor and coming to get the debt. And that typically happens with banks, right? So there is a difference between that and a credit card company or even a bank writing that off and it being written off, and then a company coming in and actually purchasing that debt. That is what I mean. Always ask to verify and validate that debt. When they send you a letter, literally right on the outside of it, I dropped it, I believe, in the Business Trappers group. But you literally want to write outside of it, that you do not agree. You know what? Let me pull it up because I don't want to. It's like a certain verbiage, and I don't want to like botch it. So hold on, let me pull up exactly what to say. But you're basically telling them when you write on this letter, right? Like, I do not agree to this debt or any type of contract with you. This debt is not mine. Right? Like, validate the debt. Validate this debt. It is not mine, and I do not agree to any type of contract with you. And write that on the outside of the letter and send that sucker right back in. I've got Santander charge off, sent in my FTC, account deleted, except Santander. So sometimes Santander will play hardball, but just make sure that and listen, not everything comes off on one sweep, you guys, right? Like, sometimes you have to go in and sweep 2-3 times. As long as you stay consistent and you stay attacking that, it's going to come off. I've gotten Santander off multiple times. So now that that's come back and it's not off, now you want to hit them with that method of verification. Who did you talk to? And go through that whole entire process. So the violations that you can sue for happen when you dispute and you send that off and it comes back verified. That's actually like when we start celebrating, because now we can hit them with the affidavits of truth. Now we can put them on 7-day notice. Now we can go in and sue because you have willful negligence. I sent this in. I said it wasn't mine. You have no way verified, validated this inaccurate, incomplete, incorrect information. And now, because of your willful negligence, now I can come in and get you some money. I can get this off and get some money. They still haven't answered. How can I make them respond for something I bought? What do you mean? How can you make them respond for something that you bought? What do you mean by that? I have a clean driving record and my insurance is $427 a month. So that's how it is in the city, in Detroit. That's how it is here because of all the theft and the, anyways, there's multiple reasons and we're not going to go into that in here. But yeah, I feel your pain. So try changing your address, or I put my insurance in my mom's. My mom lives in the suburbs, so I literally have my insurance in her name at her address. Well, they bought our debt and they want us to pay for what they bought. So that is why you have them. That is why this debt is not mine. Validate this debt. I do not agree to any contract with you. Thank you, Official Rivers. Thank you. And then it's that simple, right? Like, I don't know you. I've never done business with you. I don't have a contract with you. Thank you, Tone. I do not have a contract with you, and I'm not agreeing to any type of contract with you. So this isn't mine. Validate this. I don't agree to anything. Those are the main key points that you want to remember when you are when you're telling them to validate the debt, right? Let's go back to these settlements, you guys. So for anybody new coming in, the what was it called? Empress EMS in New York. This is up to $10,000. You can get up to $10,000 with the data breach settlement. For my Kia and Hyundai cars, it's 2011 to 2021. If you leased or owned a Kia or Hyundai, They just settled on a class action lawsuit. You can get up to $3,375. And let's go over the couple more. I want to say T-Mobile. So T-Mobile has so many people, though, it might not be high. Let's see how much theirs is. So after 2021 cyber attack exposed millions of customers' personal information, T-Mobile agreed to a $350 million settlement to resolve claims of its negligence. Oh, that was all the way last year. So that one's been paid out. Oh, listen. The Equifax data breach, you guys, I have a video on that, right? Yep, they're for class actions. There's so many of them. Like today, I just opened up my browser and there was literally like 8 data breach settlements on there. Like I was like, damn. United Healthcare has one. I believe it's in Missouri. I'll go through them in a second, but I want to tell you guys about Equifax. So yes, the time has passed for you to file your claim as far as the extended data breach settlement. Like if you took losses, right, and you spent time having to fix your credit, that settlement has passed for you to be able to apply. However, you guys can still use the screenshot that your information was affected with the Metro 2, or get your butt into the sweep class and use that to get all that stuff off of your credit report. The masterclass and the Metro 2 replay is always, the link is in my bio. It is always there. You have me step by step in class telling you exactly what to do, exactly where to go, exactly what to say, and going through the entire big book, right? And so the Metro 2 is always, the link is always in my bio. It is $250. You can jump into the Business Trappers Facebook group and see result after result after result of everyone who's bought it and ran the play. Once a month, I have the masterclass. That is a more aggressive sweep. That is a live, hands-on class where I am teaching you. You can sweep your report right in class if you choose to. And then you go into the private Facebook group for ongoing support, and you have me for anything that you may need, right? As far as when personal credit is involved. I got to jump on a consultation. I'm keeping an eye on time. So I run that class once a month. The next master sweep is going to be March 29th. That is, I believe, a Friday. And the link is in the bio. It has a different date on there. But that sweep, I'm showing you guys how to use consumer law. Not just how to use it, but I'm showing you why you're using it, right? To get any and everything off of your credit report in 30 to 45 days. This is evictions, student loans, bankruptcies, repos, collections, charge-offs, child support, whatever's on there, it doesn't matter. I'm also showing you guys how to take it a step further and write out the affidavits of truth so that way you can send them in. And if you get any type of pushback, you can send in those affidavits, force that stuff off your report, and turn around and sue them, right, for $1,000 per violation. So you definitely, if you are struggling with your credit, you definitely want to get into that masterclass. Thank you. You definitely want to get into that masterclass. And I show you guys how to use the Equifax data breach in both situations. So we're using the data breaches for like not probable cause. We're using the data breaches to place doubt, right? We're using the data breaches like my information is not protected. It is not private. My information has been all over the place. So there's no way that anybody reporting to you could possibly know if these are mine or not, right? Because how? All these data breaches, all this information out here, they're not verifying, they're not validating, they are not calling the creditor, they are not making sure that information is yours. And when we hit them with the affidavit of truth, the only way you can respond to an affidavit of truth is with facts, is with the laws, right? And so when you are writing an affidavit of truth pointing out clear violations, clearly with the law where they have done whatever they wanted to and violated you and not done what you've asked and not had this stuff taken off your report, there is no way to rebuttal, right? Like there is no way. You can't ignore it. There is no open up a process and have this great big long dispute and contact a creditor. No, I'm fact by fact, line by line, telling you how you are violating the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And the only way by law that you can respond to that is by using the Fair Credit Reporting Act to debunk what I'm saying right here. That is why affidavits are so powerful. That is why they get deletions. It is not methods. It is not hacks. It is not. It's not the steps that you take to remove things from your credit. It's the laws that you're using and how you understand them. It is how you can stand on the USC codes or the federal regulation codes and know what you're talking about, so that they have no way to rebuttal. They have no way to fight or tell you what they're not going to do, right? Hello? Okay, all right. So you're just coming after? Okay, all right. Love you. Okay. So that's in the sweep, guys. That is all inside of the sweep. I have to jump on a consultation, so I am going to jump off of here. The six-figure business credit class, we are going to do some changes, and I'm super, thank you. I'm super excited. The six-figure business credit class is going to change into more of a 6-month mentorship. You will be able to work at your own pace. We will still have our meetings on Saturdays, where we'll be able to dive more into business strategies and really having that what you need to structure and become the entrepreneur CEO that you see, right? While you're still able to learn the 6 steps and have it all at your fingertips. The first 30 days will still be fixing your personal credit. But for those of you that come in and you're ready to go, right? You can crush all that in the first 3 weeks. For those of you who want to work at your own pace and take your time and you're there, but you're not quite there, and you do great with the community support and community learning, it'll be more structured that way, right? So the 6-figure business credit class will go for 6 months at a time, and your membership will be for 6 months at a time, and it's $2,500, but we will have payment plans. So there will be a monthly payment plan. After the 6 months, you could choose to renew it, or you could choose to go to the next step. I am really, really excited about this. I just ran the beta on it, and there has been so many results, right? So 33K business credit cards on the first try. American Express Gold cards, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 personal credit cards, multiple business credit cards, 5K Sam Clubs cards, 8K gas cards, 11K Navy Fed cards. Like, it's result after result after result. And not one business trapper that came through the course had great credit. Oh, up until now. I have my first trapper that just started this week, and he is already ready to hit the ground running. But all other hundreds of people that came through had to fix their credit first. All of them got these results within 45 to 60 days. It's set up to be 90 days, right? And they are crushing it and killing it in half the time. So I'm super excited to launch this, and those links will probably go out next week. Yeah, and that's it. I'm going to jump on this consultation, and then I will be back on TikTok to talk to y'all about these data breach settlements. So that way, maybe you forgot, right? And you can go run up a bag, like get a tax check in July. Why not?